So here I am after 37 plus years of serving what I believe to be the greatest law enforcement agency in the world. I've watched this organization from start to finish grow, learn, listen, and serve the greatest, fourth largest city in the North American continent and the most diverse city in the world. I've also met and made some of the best partnerships and friendships while in office of the Chief. Therefore, it is not with a heavy heart that effective July 31st of this year, I will relinquish my seat as Chief of Police of the Toronto Police Service. I want to thank the members of the Toronto Police Service Board, past and present, for working with me and giving me the opportunity to serve as Chief. I want to thank my fantastic command. These executive officers are the best in the world, and I've yet to see a diverse as this command has been right across the world, and I'm so proud of working with you and having the opportunity. I want to thank my wife and family for standing beside me each and every day of these 5 years plus. I couldn't have done it without you. And I want to thank the citizens and communities of Toronto for their partnerships you've created for us in keeping Toronto safe. You are responsible for solving most of the cases that were presented in this city. You're responsible for working us through the good, the bad, the indifferent. You're the ones that came to the table to keep us in check whenever it was necessary. I also want to thank the media. There is a double-edged sword to this relationship, but no one ever can deny the power when put for the good that saved a whole lot of lives and prevented harm to many by delivering important, informative messages. And last but not least, I want to thank every member of the Toronto Police Service family. Many are called, but few are chosen to become a member of this organization. This is the big show. This is the last dance when it comes to policing in Canada. There is no denying it. We haven't been perfect, but we've always tried to move towards excellence. My advice is to never stop, always listen, and serve with compassion. Throughout my tenure as Chief, my first appearance to every new recruit that joins this organization, I tell them, we are looking for guardians, not warriors. This is necessary if we're going to fully grasp public value in today's policing environment. I've lived in the city as long as I've served it. I've never switched jerseys. I've always remained Toronto. Loyalty is demanded, and it's necessary to serve this seat. I've always given it 100%, and it's time to say thank you, Toronto. Thank you for your support. Thank you for continuing to work with us. But the utmost importance, I want to say thank you for giving us time, giving us those buffer moments whenever you thought that our actions were questionable. Accountability and transparency are the fabric of public trust. Public trust is a fabric that creates community safety. As this organization continues to move forward, I want to reassure you that we recognize that above all else, the Toronto Police Service will continue to do everything it can to ensure that public trust is at the forefront of every word and every deed. Having said that, I look forward to being a full-time dad and a full-time husband that's not an exhausted byproduct that walks through the door at the end of the day. In closing, thank you, Toronto, for working with me during my tenure as the 10th Chief of Police for the Toronto Police Service. It is something I'll cherish forever.
Thank you, Chief. Our first question is from Austin Delaney with CTV. Austin, please go ahead.
Chief, congratulations on a career. I was wondering why now?
Yeah, you know, I had a feeling that was going to be the first question, Austin. And, you know, there are a lot of different ways of going about it. So as Chief, it's the expiry date is when you retire, when your contract is up, or it's when you finish a project or a mission, or in the particular case in the environment we're in, when we've got COVID-19, there is no way that I was going to leave this organization unless I knew that I was satisfied that the men and women of this organization were in a safe spot. And we're there now for that. As a dad, as Mark Saunders, I can pick any time. But in my 37 plus years, I've never had an August off. And this is going to be the first time that I will have an August off with my family. And not sure what to do with it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. And, you know, after this weekend, I was getting a lot of phone calls from different people talking about, you know, let's go for another 5 years. What do we need to do? And I had to put it to stop. I had to say, look, I knew that I was going to do the year. I wanted one major project, and by all accounts, I think we might have an opportunity to fulfill that. And I'll tell you, I'll be the happiest chief in the world if that does happen in July. But there are a whole host of reasons, and at the end of the day, it's a whole bunch of things, but it's going to be good to be dad.